Hello, hello, everybody. It is Thomas Howard, aka DJ Doc. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. I have just been so busy running all over the place, doing a bunch of stuff, working on something special, which I'll be letting you know within the next few weeks. All right. I'm excited about it. It's going to be something that's fantastic, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So, right now, I know that we uh, are looking at being close to the end of the pandemic, so a lot of people feel. However, want to make sure that you're still protecting yourself. All right. Make sure that you are washing your hands, using hand sanitizer, using our Skin Tech product. All right. The antimicrobial foam. All right. Want to make sure that you're also practicing your social distancing, still 6 feet. And even though they've talked about in several places that you don't have to wear a mask, be smart, be safe, be careful, wear your mask. Lady Rock and I, we still go to the stores and we are still wearing our masks around crowds and things of that nature just to make sure everything is okay. All right. So I'm so glad you joined us today. Tonight, I have a young man. I always start off with young man. It seems like everybody that I'm around is younger than me. There's a few older ones, and I'm going to have them on the show so I can say the old man. I'm going to say that one day. I'm going to say that one day. But this young man I met through one of the groups I'm with called MenX. And if you want some information about that, contact me and I'll let you know about it. But I met him through MenX. We had what we call a mandate. Yes, I said it, a mandate. I'm not ashamed. All right. What we did was we actually met each other and had coffee and sat and chatted about everything but business. No business was spoken. All right. It was great. I learned a lot about him, his family, and I'm talking about mom, dad, uncles, aunts, wife, dogs. We just learned about each other. And the nice thing about that was we built a relationship, you know, and we contact each other, maybe not every day, but every day or so, see how's everything going. And that's one of the things that I think is great because we've been able to build that relationship. And that means that we know each other a little bit more than just meeting and then trying to jump in and do business. Because honestly, think about it. If you've just met someone for a few seconds, are you wanting to just jump in full force with business with them? No, I don't think so. So I wanted to give you a little bit of information about this young man. His name is Ken Maguire, and Ken is a realtor at the Disher Group Real Estate. All right. Ken arrived in San Diego from Connecticut, where he spent most of his career as a collegiate lacrosse coach. Now, I feel pretty good that I said that big word, collegiate. And that was at the D1 level. During that time as a collegiate coach, he helped his team win their conference championship and reach the NCAA tournament. Do you hear me? NCAA. So you know that was something. In addition to coaching, he also has experience in commercial real estate, personal real estate around New England and New York. Got to give it up for New York. Y'all know that's where I'm from. Now, the combined experience and knowledge of coaching and real estate helps him give his clients a coach on their sideline throughout the buying or selling process. I want you guys to help me welcome to the show Mr. Ken Maguire. Ken, how you doing?
Hey, Thomas, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. It's a
Most definitely,
pleasure.
most definitely. You heard me talking to people and letting them know that we have become pretty good friends, you know, and that makes for a better business relationship. Do you agree?
100%. Because I trust you. I know who you are. So I have no problem referring you out, doing anything with you because I know who you are as a person and what you stand for, which is
And you,
all great things, by the way.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll pay you later for that. Um, but the nice thing about it is we've learned what each of us feel about integrity, morals, and things of that nature. And that makes it easier to do business with people like that. And the one thing I love is the fact that you've been doing real estate for so long. How long has it been for you?
Well, I've been doing real estate since I was in college. Yeah, I mean, even before that, my grandmother was a realtor, my uncle's an architect, so I grew up around it. Really learned a lot from them. Carried that on into the commercial space for a little bit, and learned from that space. But in the end, like you mentioned, I did coaching. I still coach a little bit this day, but I wanted to marry the two of real estate and the coaching into something that's personable for people and to help them achieve their goals through real estate.
And you know what I think is great is I've seen you talk to a couple of people who were asking a few questions about real estate, and you can see where the coaching side of you comes in, and you're letting them know from a standpoint of, yeah, well, this is what you're able to do, and then you go into the whole picture. You don't just focus on one thing, you go into the whole picture. So that's fantastic. Right now, with the pandemic and everything going on, what is the real estate market looking like these days?
It is still quite active and hectic, especially here in San Diego, California. As of today, for the MLS, which is a multiple listing service where we put homes on the market and we as agents are able to see them, we have 1,550 homes for the entirety of San Diego County.
Mm,
So that is for all the thousands of buyers out there, not only to find their specific spot, we're at 15, just over 1,500 homes for the entire county, which is wild.
right. Now, for the layperson, is that a lot or is that very little?
Great question. That is very little. So what we're seeing is this market is still a very hot market. People see the prices going up and they maybe hear about multiple offers and bidding wars. That still hasn't changed in the past year. I know people have been hearing it since the pandemic and, anxiously waiting by the sidelines saying, oh, I'm going to wait for the dip. The market, because of supply and demand, has still been active. We have a listing just last week that went on the market, went for over $100,000 over ask, and had 40 offers on it. So
Wow.
buyers are out there, they're hungry because there's many factors that go into it. But to answer, your question as far as is that a lot, we have 2 weeks worth of inventory for February numbers that just came out.
Hmm.
So if you go back kind of pre-pandemic, what a seller's market would look like and we would see more of would be 3 to 4 months of inventory. So meaning how long can the homes on the market last for the buyers that are out there? Well,
Gotcha.
we're now down to 2 weeks
Wow.
worth of that inventory. And that was still a seller's market.
The one thing I know because of the pandemic, my understanding is a lot of people aren't really looking to sell right now. They are trying to hunker down. You know, it seems like I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, but there's also, I think there's people who are unsure, and then
Okay.
there's people who are looking for a change of scene, right? Like you said, the pandemic's kind of inspired people to what else is out there. I can work remotely. We've had a lot of people from the Bay Area, Seattle, LA coming down to San Diego.
Mm,
We've also had people heading out of town. Texas, Tennessee is becoming more popular of a place, and just heading out as well. So it kind of depends on every person and where they're feeling at the time.
okay. Okay. And I did hear about a lot of people coming down to San Diego, um, even if they are up north in Northern California. You still can't beat this southern weather. This southern
No.
California weather. Let me say that. I don't mean southern
Yeah.
as in the south, southeast and so forth. But yeah,
Yeah.
and we always hear where the housing is so expensive here, and they tell you that's because of the sun tax. I spoke with a couple of friends, and they were saying, "Yeah, someone I heard you guys have sun tax. So, what is that exactly?" And it's just a little fun thing where people say because we have such beautiful sun and weather that we pay for that. But in actuality,
Yes.
we do pay for that. You know.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So much so the median home price just hit $800,000 for the
And that,
county.
you see, and that's the median. I can remember
Yeah.
when the median was around 500, $600,000. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, yeah. Now, it is amazing. It truly is amazing. Now, what would you say are some of the properties that people should be looking for if they are looking for a home?
Sure. Well, so there's a little bit of a saying where, within agents and in this time, and people say, oh, I want a deal, right? Everybody wants a deal. Well, the deal nowadays is getting your offer accepted.
Okay,
So if you get an offer accepted, that's a pretty good deal. The homes out there, it's going to depend on what you, one, have for savings, what you can afford, then what you're going to feel comfortable in. So, of course, you don't want to just buy to buy and be miserable there.
right.
But at the same time, you have to be a little more flexible here and what you really need for base. Like, is it a yard because you have a dog and you have to have a yard for that dog? Okay, well, there's some townhomes that have a little yard space for dogs. Maybe that could work as well as a single family home.
Okay. So some of the properties I know out there, and I just want to make sure people understand that
Yeah.
these fall within the real estate realm. We're looking at what? Condos,
Yes.
townhomes, single family homes. Are there
Yes.
anything else as far as is that?
Yeah, you're gonna have apartment buildings downtown as well. Then you're also gonna have kind of modular homes, and you'll find those, a lot more in 55 plus communities. There are some that aren't, but yeah, you covered most of them. Plus the modular homes
Mhm.
would be the one I would add there.
Now, it's interesting because we were just talking with a 17-year-old, my wife and I, and we were saying, one of the things that she should definitely do is to build an investment portfolio. One of the best investments she can have is real estate. And we told her that starting out with a condo would be ideal. Do you feel that's correct?
I think a condo is a great place to start because it's a usually lower entry point, so it's easier to get in as your first place. I think that's absolutely great. Everybody's picture and starting point, has to the the picture is going to be different based off what
Mhm.
they're looking to get, right? So that is a great point to get in, start to build that equity because a home essentially becomes a forced savings plan even though San Diego specific, if you take appreciation out of it, if you take remodeling out of it, if you have to be paying your mortgage and that equity is going in and going down to principal over time, that principal is going to sit there in form of equity for you. So it's like a forced savings plan.
Right, right. And I know that, we had told her that once you do that, and you do build that equity, you may be able to take a loan to purchase another property and then rent that one out. And a lot of times when you're renting like that, what happens if I'm not mistaken is when you charge the rent, you're able to usually charge what you're paying for the mortgage plus a little bit extra to go in your pocket, correct?
Yes. Yes. Cash flow is the name of the game. Now, I'm not a CPA,
Right, right,
but
right.
as far as the write offs, but yes, it definitely has the advantages. So, cash flow is a big one. You want to make sure that it's covering that, especially if you're going to move out. A
Mhm.
big kind of trend has become house hacking. So, if there's a way that you can either, if you're a younger individual, college student, I think is a great time. If you can get a 3 bedroom place, whether it's a condo, apartment,
Mhm.
home, and you can rent out a couple of the rooms to some friends and then they help you pay the mortgage, that's a great first step to get into it.
Okay.
Um, then, as far if you want to move out, you just have to make sure that whatever you're collecting in rent not only covers the mortgage, but also factor in any repairs that might come around and any maintenance, any utilities if you want to have the tenant pay those, or if you want to cover them as the landlord.
And that's one of the things I know a lot of people have looked at. Um, I hear people say, and I want you to give me your input on this. I hear people
Yeah.
say, well, I'm just going to rent because I don't have to worry about anything. But then I also hear the other side, no, I'm going to buy because everything that I put into it is mine.
Yes. Yeah, the rent, I get it. It's scary. It's that big sticker price. But
Hmm.
I would just say this, right? I think long ago there was a time where it was, buy a home, 30-year mortgage, you work, you pay that mortgage off, right?
Right,
That's the goal. The majority of home buyers, especially first time, don't end up staying in that home for 30 years. So, really, what you should be looking at, in my opinion, is what is your monthly payment, right? What you're bringing in for your income, what's your monthly payment look like? Are you able to cover that comfortably? Because that's the payment that's going to be your concern for the next 5, 7 years. And most likely in those 5 to 7 years, you could be at a different life point, ready to maybe get a larger home or then rent that one out and continue to gross income from that, from the appreciation, or like you mentioned, pull the money out via a HELOC or a cash out refi and go invest that elsewhere.
okay, all right. Now, one of the things I know when people are looking at homes, there's been talk of, like, my wife and I, we're going to be looking later this summer,
Mhm.
before the end of the year, for a home to purchase. And
Sure.
one of the things that we know is out there are those that are turnkey and those that you can renovate, and then there are even those that I hear people talk about flipping. I want you to talk to us a little bit about each of those terms because I know a lot of people I've talked with, they weren't familiar with the term. So let's start off with turnkey.
Sure. So turnkey is going to be where you can go up to the front door the day you move in, put the key in, open the lock, move in, and you don't have to worry about anything, right? You turn
Okay.
that key, you move your furniture in, you plug the TV in, you're ready to start watching, go get a fresh beverage from the fridge. It's all good to go.
That's what we want.
Yes.
I know that that cold beverage is waiting for me. Um,
Yes.
and I know a lot of people like the whole idea about a turnkey. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, your next one with a renovation. Give us that.
Sure. So there's going to be some, different levels, and that will kind of lead into the third one you mentioned of flipping. But as far as renovation, you're going to look at, maybe it's something that has some dated countertops, maybe some carpet, maybe something that isn't the most modern or recently done, that has some wear and tear. So it could use some work, maybe a light fixer. This way, it gives you, the price is going to reflect that, and
Right.
it gives you room to go in, put some of your own touches onto that.
Okay. Okay. I like that. And then with flipping, give us
Yes.
give us an idea about that.
Yeah. So typically, what flippers are doing, investors are looking for kind of those fixer uppers we were just talking about, but they could be in even more repair, because a lot of the investors that are coming in are typically cash buyers or have a large percentage of cash down. So they don't have to worry about that home passing certain inspections to qualify for the loan, for the lender to approve, saying, okay, we'll actually let you buy this asset because it's not going to fall down tomorrow, right?
Right.
So those flippers will come in with that money, purchase it, and then they'll rehab it up to, maybe it needs new floors, new countertops, maybe it needs a new roof, maybe it needs new plumbing, maybe it needs to be rewired, something along those lines. They'll do that work in, but they'll also make sure beforehand that there's room with the work that they're going to put in to then profit on it at the end when they go to resell, because they have to make it worth their time.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now I know we had talked about this, and you were telling me that you were dealing with a house that you guys were going to be working on. I want to show that. I think
Sure.
it's important for everyone to see it. And if I'm not mistaken, this was a house that was flipped, correct?
Correct. Correct. So the shape that it was in, and I know we had the video we looked at before, it was not in the shape that you're going to see it. The layout was actually a little bit different. So my team, we went in and had a contractor go in, take a look at it, what it looked like before. We're able to offer a good price for the homeowner that they get paid accordingly, then go in and put a renovation budget into it to get new floors, new counters, the walls redone,
Hmm.
the landscaping, and just really bring it up to modern times so that it is turnkey and
Okay.
functional to live in.
All right, let's take a look at that.
All right. What's up, everybody? Today, stopping in because I wanted to bring you to our flip here at 470 First Ave in Chula Vista. I know I took you on the tour when it was still under renovation. I wanted to show you the finished product. Come on, let's go take a look.
All right, all right. So, do most of the properties come with a handsome guy showing you around and so forth?
That's few and far between. Few and far between.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
that was beautiful. The look and cleanliness of the house, that's fantastic. So that's what it means to
Thank you.
flip. And I know a lot of people weren't real sure what that meant, but that explained it. No, we didn't
Yeah.
have the video beforehand, but as you said, it didn't look anything like that.
Yeah, not that at all. And what you'll notice too from the video, you kind of see like the whites and the grays. They're pretty plain and clean looking, right? Because
Hmm.
you want people to go in and be able to put whatever touches they want and express themselves through their home. So you kind of keep it to those trendy finishes of the time.
Right, right. So what I wanted to do was I'm going to let everyone know how they can reach you because I think it's important to be able to find a really reputable and great real estate agent. I know that you are one. You work
Thank you.
hard um, in your business as well as what I've seen outside the business. So I know you're definitely going to be someone that takes care of people. And everyone,
Thank
you'll
you.
be able to locate him very, very easily. You can contact Ken Maguire, his phone number, 619-384-5858, or you can email him at ken.maguire@element.com, and it's there on the screen. So I'll give you a few
I just
seconds to
I just got to make that the C after the M is an A for the email.
see
So
after the.
it would be ken.maguire@element.com.
Not a problem, not a problem. I think that was definitely on me, and we will get that fixed
No
in
worries.
just a second. Um, we want to make sure that we have everything correct. So I will do that for the
Yeah.
email. But so they can contact you, and what's a
Yes.
turnaround with you, reaching out and getting back to them?
If I'm by my phone and I get a call, I will pick it up right then, and I try to return those calls in under a day.
Okay,
If
all right.
not, I will get back the very next day in the morning. I'm an early riser. I won't wake you when I get up, but as soon as I'm in the office and it's a reasonable morning time, I will make a call back.
All right, all right. That's fantastic. So I've got that all taken care of and squared away, everybody. I apologize
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank
But
you.
ken.mcguire@element.com. All right. So it's fantastic. Ken, I want you to leave everybody with something they should be thinking about when it comes to real estate. All right. I want you to definitely do that.
Yeah, what great point. So I would say a couple things. If I could go kind of buyers and sellers, obviously getting yourself a good team, and that would include, yes, an agent, of course, but lender, reputable lender, and making it, because as you go through this process, we're there for you. So it becomes more of a relationship on the level like Thomas and I have, of really getting to know the other people, because we're here to support you and we all have to be on the same page. So, buyers, as we go out, it's important. Like, I sit down and take about an hour, could be longer depending what they want to share, but an hour to take you through the whole process from beginning to end so you understand. And then throughout the whole time, there for any questions that do arise, because there will be questions. And there'll be so much covered that you'll come back and be like, what? I think we talked about this, or I don't remember, but can you remind me? And that's perfectly okay. And then as far as the selling side, we can offer so many options, right? We have the MLS at our disposal. Then we also have investors we can bring to your home that you could take it that way. Or you could go through something we offer at my group specifically, is called the seller rehab program. So kind of like we talked about, Thomas, the flipping is, we come in and instead of the flippers or the investors making the money by buying the home in a, you know, less than desirable condition, we'll come in, we'll fund the rehab, and then we will split any value increase, and we'll take all the risk of putting that money down to upgrade the home. So you can realize, as the homeowner, you realize all that value gain, rather than selling it and a flipper coming in and taking that value that you've lived in that home for so long.
That's
So there's
wonderful.
many options when you're going to sell your home and buy your home. It's really about the team and who's on your side, and connecting and bringing that team together to win together.
All right. All right. Well, Ken, I thank you for coming on and giving us some updates about real estate and talking with us about real estate as well. I appreciate you. And we got to get back out on the golf course.
Yes,
I know we've
indeed.
been
The
talking
weather's
about it.
warming up.
I know it's just beautiful out. Well, thank you again,
Yes.
Ken, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate you having me on here. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you at the links.
All right. Hey, everybody. I hope that was beneficial and you learned a few things. It's really, I try to bring people that are going to give you some insight into different things. And I usually do this from being out and about, talking with individuals and, questions I hear or I'm asked rather. And then some of what I hear, I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get that information to people. And Ken Maguire is a good guy that you do want to talk to if you have real estate questions and things of that nature. And I think it's fantastic, as he said, to make sure you have a good team and whatnot. I'm going to put his information up once again. Ken Maguire, phone number 619-384-5858, and email ken.maguire@element.com. All right. I want to thank everybody for being here with me today for Straight Talk with DJ Doc. I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.